I stood there frozen, as her laughter cut through the crowded room like a knife. My wife Emily, the woman I'd loved for 7 years, was mocking me in front of our friends, her voice sharp and gleeful, like she'd been waiting for this moment. "Oh, come on, Mark," she said, her wine glass tilting in her hand. "You think you're some big shot provider? You're barely keeping us afloat." The room went quiet, eyes darting between us, and I felt my face burn. I forced a smile, the kind you plaster on when your heart's cracking, and said nothing. But inside I was unraveling. That night I made a choice. One that would leave her shaking. Running home, her world turned upside down. Let me take you back. Emily and I met in college, two kids who thought love was enough to conquer anything. She was vibrant, the kind of person who lit up a room with her laugh. I was quieter, steady, the guy who'd hold her hand through late-night study sessions and dream with her about a future we'd build together. We got married at 24, promising forever in a small church with stained glass windows casting rainbows on her white dress. Life was good then. We'd cook dinner in our tiny apartment, dance to old songs in the kitchen, and fall asleep tangled up, whispering about the kids we'd have one day. I worked long hours at a construction firm, climbing the ranks, while she took a job at a marketing agency, her creativity shining. We weren't rich, but we were happy. Or so I thought. The first cracks appeared a year ago. Emily started staying late at work, her phone buzzing at odd hours. She'd brush it off, saying it was a big campaign, but her eyes wouldn't meet mine. I'd catch her smiling at her screen, fingers flying over text. She'd tilt away from me. "Just work stuff," she'd say, her voice too light, like she was hiding something fragile. I didn't push. I trusted her. Maybe I shouldn't have. At home she grew distant, picking fights over small things. Dishes in the sink, my muddy boots by the door. I'd apologize, try to fix it, but it was like trying to hold water in my hands. The more I reached for her, the further she slipped away. Then came the dinner party. Our friends Tom and Sarah hosted it at their sleek downtown loft, all glass and exposed brick. We were there with a dozen others, laughing over wine and pasta, the kind of night that used to feel warm and easy. Emily was in rare form, charming everyone, her stories sparkling. I loved watching her like that, but something felt off. Her glances at me were sharp, like she was sizing me up. Then, out of nowhere, she started in. "Mark's been promising we'd buy a house forever," she said, her tone playful but biting. "But we're still stuck in that cramped apartment. Guess that's what happens when your husbands all talk." The room chuckled awkwardly, and I felt my stomach twist. I laughed it off, mumbling something about saving up, but she didn't stop. "He's always got an excuse," she went on, her eyes glinting. Maybe I should have stuck with someone who could actually deliver. That's when it hit me. The name she didn't say but was thinking: Ethan. Her ex. The guy she dated before me. Some hotshot lawyer who'd showered her with gifts and promises of a big life. She told me bits and pieces. How he was intense, controlling, how she left him because he didn't respect her. But lately his name kept slipping into her stories, like a ghost she couldn't shake. I'd seen his texts pop up on her phone once months ago. "Just catching up," she'd said, but her cheeks flushed. I let it go. Until that night. I waited until we were alone in the kitchen, the party still humming outside. My voice was low, steady, but my heart was pounding. "Emily, what was that about? Why do you humiliate me like that?" She rolled her eyes, tossing her hair. "Oh, relax, Mark. It was a joke. Don't be so sensitive." But I wasn't letting it slide. "Not this time. Is this about Ethan?" I asked, my words careful, like stepping on thin ice. Her face changed, pale then red, her lips parting like she'd been caught. "What are you talking about?" she snapped, but her voice shook. I took a breath, my hands clenching. "I know you've been texting him. I saw his name on your phone. Are you comparing me to him? Is that why you're tearing me down in front of everyone?" The air felt heavy, like the moment before a storm breaks. She stared at me, her eyes wide, and for a second I thought she'd deny it. Then she laughed, a brittle sound. "You're paranoid, Mark. Ethan's just a friend now. Unlike you, he's got his life together." Her words were a punch, but I didn't flinch. I leaned closer, my voice calm but cold. "Then why don't you tell everyone out there about the real Ethan? The guy who called you names, who made you cry yourself to sleep? Or should I?" Her glass slipped from her hand, shattering on the tile. The room beyond went silent, heads turning. She stared at me, her breath uneven, her eyes darting like she was trapped. You wouldn't, she whispered. I didn't answer. I just held her gaze, letting her feel the weight of her own secrets. She grabbed her coat and bolted, her heels clicking as she fled the loft. I didn't follow. I stood there, the broken glass at my feet, while our friends murmured awkwardly. Sarah came over, touching my arm, asking if I was okay. I nodded, but I wasn't. I drove home alone, the city lights blurring through the windshield. When I got there, Emily was on the couch, her face streaked with tears. I'm sorry, she said, her voice small. I didn't mean it. I don't know what's wrong with me. She admitted she'd been talking to Ethan. Not because she wanted him, but because she felt lost, like our life wasn't enough. I listened, my heart heavy. I loved her, but I couldn't unhear her words, couldn't unfeel the sting of her betrayal. We're trying to rebuild now, but it's slow, like mending a shirt torn at the seams. Some days I see the girl I married, and others I see the distance in her eyes. I don't know if we'll make it, but I'm here fighting for us. That night, though, I learned something. Love doesn't shield you from pain. Sometimes it's the source. If you've listened this far, thank you. Sharing this feels like letting go of a weight, even just a little. Your time, your care, it means more than I can say. Keep holding space for these stories, for the messy human truth in them. It's what keeps us connected.